Oh, sorry. Pause video. Pause video. Poison. That comes for later. That brings me back to some very fond memories on this Internet of stuff and things. Now, I must apologize. I was late. I was going to attempt to shoot for 42. Because as we know, 42 is an answer to a universe. Now, I was going for more for 44 because I tend to think that explains more, but that's a different story. I'm still late. I apologize. But what the heck is going on here? Carpe Diem. Seize the day. It's from the movie The Dead Poets Society, and it was starring the late, great, in my opinion, Robin Williams. He plays the eccentric English teacher, Mr. Keating. And in this movie, he basically literally starts on having them rip everything out of the textbook because they're essentially giving a measurement, if you would. How does one rate poetry? That's not something that initially comes to mind, but when they were going over it, it's like, how it goes its beauty. How beautiful is it? We've never heard that in any other academia outside of English before, as well as how much does it actually communicate that point? How much does it actually explain? How much some may say it's able to explain things? It kind of sounded like modern physics to me in a way. Now, the issue that Mr. Keating had with that is that actually if you're trying to follow those metrics, is that potentially going to lead you astray or you may end up in some loop? Because how will you experience new things? Because the only way of discovering what's possible is to venture a little way beyond that into the impossible. I don't know. Did you want an iPhone before you had it? I didn't really know. I was gonna get a BlackBerry, and it was like $99 or something. Like, oh, this sounds like a good deal. Thank you, AT&T, for taking our money. Hashtag capitalism. Now we're gonna go over to the video right over here, where this is the infamous Carpe Diem scene. Because I remember watching this movie back in the day, and it really struck me just the whole mimetic of Carpe Diem, because I truly believe we're more similar than we are different. But we do each have our own unique life experience, which is going to dictate a lot of how we view the world, ourselves. Because I'm not going to lie, there's a lot of great stuff going on, but in a lot of ways, it really sucks too. You see all this hatred out there, you're having these discussions, people feel some type of way about certain things that I don't know, whatever your view is, how much of it is you really disagree and or I just don't like those people. The people we've had negative interactions in. I feel that may weight some of our poetic responses. I'm just saying, whether it's a response video or slam poetry, we can video it all. Just saying. Robin Williams, take us away. Excuse me, Mr. Keating.
Now, Mr. Pitts. It's a rather unfortunate name, Mr. Pitts.
Starts off with a little levity.
Mr. Pitts, we've written a hymnal to page 542. Read the first stanza of the poem you find there.
It's known for ripping pages out of books. So we're going to pause because even though this was released in 1989, we want to be fair. These things are important. But as you can see, rather than teaching in the classroom, they go on a very short field trip outside, taking them out of their element into a new setting, which he also sets up with, hey, read this thing, and here's some pictures of some other people that were in a very similar situation. Yes, it's an all-boys prep school. Now, continue.
So the virgins to make much of time?
Yes, that's the one. Somewhat appropriate, isn't it?
Time, you say.
Gather ye rosebuds while ye may. Old time is still a-flying. And this same flower that smiles today, tomorrow will be dying.
Thank you, Mr. Pitts. Gather ye rosebuds while ye may.
I don't know, it resonates for some reason, especially at the moment. I apologize for the volume fluctuations. There seems to be a gremlin afoot.
The Latin term for that sentiment is Carpe Diem. Now, who knows what that means? Carpe Diem. That's seize the day.
I never
Good,
stereotype a
Mr.
star
Neat.
person with
Neat.
glasses.
Another unusual name. Seize the day. Gather ye rosebuds while ye may. Why does the writer use these lines?
Because he's in a hurry.
No. Ding! Thanks for playing anyway.
Oh, a smart response elicits a smart response. A wee bit of banter, if you would, because I think a lot of this is we just don't know how to interact with each other or what is appropriate because interacting one on one is a lot easier. You have all these different things, these additional dimensionality. I think we got to adapt it over thousands of years to try to interact face to face. We could actually communicate. We could also touch with consent if people were consenting, because that's important. I see you there, Sharati. Good to see you, my internet mom. We'll talk later. But all I'm saying is, a wise woman once told me that when I asked, how do we solve humanity? She's like, you need to get everyone together in one gigantic room and have them figure it out. I'm like, I think that's technically impossible. But in order to figure the limits of the impossible, we must cross a little ways beyond, I claim, into the impossible. Why? Because we can. Because we have the internet. Oh my God. It's like, I don't know. I've seen some pretty big Zoom rooms. I've attended some Zoom seminars. Some people might actually be quite smarter than they appear at times. I'm not talking about me. I'm talking about at least one of my senpais. I got several of them. Professor Peterson, I apologize. My room is a mess. I want to make sure my chair wasn't crinkly and sounding embarrassing before I got on. That contributed an extra couple minutes. I apologize. But, Mr. Keating,
Because we are food for worms, lads. Because believe it or not, each and every one of us in this room is one day going to stop breathing.
how dare you point out the inevitable? Continue.
Turn cold and die. I'd like you to step forward over here and peruse some of the faces from the past. You've walked past them many times. I don't think you've really looked at them.
Nobody's ever done something like that.
They're not that different from you, are they? Same haircuts.
Bunch of young
full of
lads
hormones, just like you.
conforming in a particular way.
Invincible, just like you feel.
I remember
The world
that.
is their oyster. They believe they're destined for great things, just like many of you. Their eyes are full of hope, just like you.
Oh, they have the bow ties. I think that's totally adorable. I miss Gabby too. The ability to banter about such a wide variety of topics. Some of the best conversations were after, just because I had no idea what the situation was, but I found the conversation so fast. We'd finish a live stream, be like, 3 hours later, Gabby actually to go to sleep. I go to work and everything. I'm banter on for like another 30 minutes, but continue.
Did they wait until it was too late to make from their lives even one iota of what they were capable? Because you see, gentlemen, these boys are now fertilizing daffodils.
I think Gabby gave away like 8 Bitcoin.
But if you listen real close, you can hear them whisper their
Probably in
legacy
a
to you.
dump.
Go on, lean in.
He did well.
Listen. You hear it?
I miss that too. Everyone's like, what is our crazy new English teacher doing? He's whispering. And I don't know. I don't think it would work as well in the classroom. You might need a bit of a hallway, a little bit more open space, and an actual visualization as well. Because we tend to be visual creatures. Not all of us. Not always. People can still learn a lot. Works well.
Seize the day, boys. Make your lives extraordinary.
It's a very good meme. Everyone's like, is this place haunted? Is that real? And then they go to Captain, My Captain, where that delves into what actually happens if you have an impact on people. What happens if a bunch of folks were roped into saying something that may be untrue? Now, not everybody may stand up for you, but as long as enough people do, can at least help keep things in balance. I think that's about 1/3. I'm unsure of how the balance works. I know it's like 1/3 and 2/3. I'm gonna need to check with some people and go back and watch some videos. But all I'm saying with human relativity, everyone's different. Everyone's had an experience, and to assume we understand exactly what a person means by it, how do we know if we don't ask? How do we know if we don't interact? Because people will take things all different ways. I know I've slacked on that. Carpe diem. We try to do better. I think that's enough. Like 2% of folks trying 2% better is enough compounding. Don't know why, just a gut hunch. But hey, peace out, everybody. Be safe. No matter what happens, take care of yourselves. We're in this together. Together forever. Ooh, yeah.